Hello and welcome everybody to the Front Nine coverage of round one of the 2021 Delaware Disc Golf Challenge presented by Innova Champion Discs. I'm Brian Earhart, joined here by my lefty co-host Nathan Queen. Nathan, we are coming back in the woods. We're at Iron Hill, phenomenal track, pretty universally loved by the players out here. Nathan, what are you thinking?
It's my first year out here, and I was definitely excited to get out and attack this course. We've got lots of wooded lines to hit, but the lines are clean if you stay in the middle. Once you get off of the fairway, it's a bit scrambly.
Yeah, we have a pretty good mix of play styles on our card, and pretty much all the best players are here except for actually the man up top. Paul Macbeth is taking a rest before the final stretch of the tour, so it's really anybody's game out here. We're going to bring you the Flight Factory drone flyover on hole number one, 605-foot par 4. It seems like a pretty hard dogleg right, but it's a lot straighter of a first shot than you think.
You really want to throw a slight turnover with the righty backhand and let it flatten out and just kind of drift straight down the fairway rather than go off to the left, or the right, excuse me.
And this man coming off a huge dominant victory in the woods at Stafford Woods. And he has found some focus in this late stretch of the season.
He's lots of good play these last few weeks, and I'm sure he's looking to keep it going here at Delaware.
High forehand, just a pure hyzer.
And as long as that stayed far enough left,
Johansen,
that should spike down and not really flare into the woods with how high he threw it.
And I have to guess MJ is going to play this course exactly the same as how he played Stafford. He's going to be throwing a lot of comets, turning around. Oh, double take on that one. He had to make sure it was good.
Colten Montgomery.
And Colton's only Pro Tour victories in Waco, in the woods. So he definitely has what it takes to shoot well out here. A lot of long, distant straight shots.
Yeah, he's been playing well this year, staying kind of just outside of the top 10. I'm sure he's looking to break through on that this week.
And Calvin is having a phenomenal season. 13th place at DGOE being his worst finish on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. Had a rough finish at the Masters Cup, but that really was the only rough finish for him, and that was a beautiful turnover shot in the middle of the fairway. Something to note, this left side, once you get closer to the basket, the left side is OB. They have roped it off this year. MJ going purple banger.
And you see him pulling it off to the right side, definitely trying to avoid that OB on the left.
This line went up to the edge of circle one.
Yeah, he left that just a bit low, but he'll still have a long look if he wants to be aggressive on the first hole.
And that is looking good for Calvin. He's going to have a pretty short birdie putt starting off the tournament. It's a clean line to the basket, but you still have to be very intentional with the line.
Yeah, especially with this turnover. If you pull it just a bit too far inside, it can kick one of those trees and go straight into the OB. Mattio's gone just a bit long here, but I believe he stayed inside of circle one and will have his birdie putt. 70 feet for MJ with a pretty easy layup.
Ooh, nose up floater for Matt and just doesn't quite capitalize. This one averaged a 4.09 on the day, a little bit over par. I think a lot of second shots, like you said, roll bouncing left out of bounds.
Yeah, it seems to play a bit further on that second shot than it looks as well. It's a little downhill, but still you've got to get enough on it for it to carry to get to the green.
There it is.
Calvin with the lone birdie for the card here to start off the round.
And I expect Calvin to have a pretty solid tournament here. I mean, he won Ledgestone at Northwood Black, and carrying that same strategy into this course is exactly what you'd expect from him.
That moves us into hole 2, 380 feet, a really tough par 3 where you've got to go just where the drone went or just to the right of that first tree that's kind of the middle of the fairway. Once you get around that tree, if you can keep moving left, then you'll have a chance at the birdie.
It's early, but it's somehow pure, and it's... He is going to be...
There's not a gap there, I thought.
Well, you know what MJ always says? If you miss big in the woods, it's better than missing by a little. MJ, you are right on this one. Calvin's putting for birdie from 30.
And this is a little high, but more the intended gap.
Yeah, you kind of have to throw something with a little bit of flip mid-flight. You can't quite get an overstable one to crash out.
And Matty O still gets all the way up there inside the circle.
Oh, MJ going inside, little bit of flip. This is the line that I'm talking about. Beautiful shot from MJ.
And Colten has hit that inside line as well. 4 great shots here to get up on the green. That's not something you really expect from the whole card on this hole.
Oh, yeah. Shallow circle 2 look for Colten. It's exactly what you want on that one.
Smooth and clean. Matt seems to be about the same distance as hole 1. We'll see if he can correct just a bit high and right on line the first hole.
Oh, yeah. Another birdie. This is one of those courses that every year seems to get shredded by the field, and it's so surprising to me. These holes are all very challenging to birdie, but they are, like Nathan said, very fair. And if you happen to have a specific disc in your bag working for you that day, you can throw it over and over again out here.
And 3 birdies so far. Calvin looking to complete the star frame.
And he capitalizes on the lucky break on the inside gap. And
yeah,
we'll see you on hole 3.
This hole playing 2.86. Great for the card to get the star.
Hole number 3, low ceiling gap shot. going slightly uphill. The goal is to push over the crest of the hill and push a little bit right so you have a straight look at this next gap. Big drop off to the left side. Basket is perched back on the cliff. There is a putt from the creek, but you do have quite a steep putt from back there, so you want to land it close.
The further you get down this fairway on the initial tee shot, the easier this hole really gets.
And that is going to be a nice, simple 7-speed down the fairway for Calvin. And we are just going to jump back to a form check of something that he does so well. And you just look at his posture. He's just so balanced. But yeah, doesn't fully extend his arm ever. Never really has. And just stays super compact and pure on those drives. Another player that does something similar.
Oh, he just catches a branch. It was looking pretty good. He still will have a chance to get down to the green, but it will be a little more difficult to keep it up top.
Ooh, scorch was a little high. He's going to be on the hill. That doesn't look to be a great place to run a birdie, although you will be able to throw a turnover into the gap.
Yeah, even from that short, if you can hit the gap, there's a chance your disc could float down there. Just harder to keep it up top, like I was talking about for Matty O's shot as well.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, look at this.
Fading out just a bit.
Oh, he's going to actually have a tough time from back there. He's pushed a little bit too far. Maybe just a little bit more height and that would have flattened out.
Matty O has hit this gap great. Let's see if he can get this settle.
Look at that. He's going to have a nice 10-footer uphill at the basket.
Yeah, great shot from where he was at. He'll just have that uphill to deal with. And Colten looks pretty pinched off over here on the left side. Gets one up there inside a circle too. That's a pretty scary putt to run. We'll see how he's feeling early on in the round.
Finally getting to Calvin's. That was an absolute smash of a drive. From the knee.
Drifting. And yeah, comes back out with a pretty stable disc, and he's right around circle's edge.
Oh, yeah. Tap in 4.
And smart play there from Colten, just kind of laying up, making sure he doesn't get too aggressive and end up 40 feet away at the bottom of that hill.
That's the kind of putt that you early on get a little antsy about. You might want to float that one in, put a little Anheuser on it. Colten's sticking to the game plan. And here's Calvin from about 30, 35 feet.
Trying to get the turkey to start the round.
Nice putt.
Drops it on the weak side. Third birdie in a row for Calvin Heimburg.
What a way to start.
He is looking solid out here. And great birdie from Matt as well. You know, on these tough, long, wooded tracks, Calvin's bread and butter shot, that 7-speed fairway, you know, his eagle that he's been throwing all season, it just does well for him every single course that he goes to. It's such a solid bread and butter shot to have.
Yeah, he's got a couple different ones. He's got one that he can throw very straight, a little on the flippier side, and then one that he can just hammer on. That'll fade out for him a little bit.
Hole number 4. Nathan, there's OB now that's been roped on the right side. I heard rumors that this was a roller blocker decision to stop people from getting too aggressive. Probably going to see some big turnovers off the tee and then funneling fairway to the basket here.
The new OB on the right side is definitely keeping some rollers from being the play, and even maybe a sidearm. If you don't push it straight enough with the righty sidearm or a lefty backhand, then it's easy for this ground play, sloping down left to right, to just flare you into that OB.
Calvin has pushed a little bit long with that. He was trying to go just a huge maximum distance turnover and just pushed a bit too far forward. And this is a flippy driver from Matteo. Oh yeah, he put even a little bit of nose up on it too.
This looks a bit turned over.
And B minus. C plus.
And that is all MJ's looking for there. That's going to be a comet straight to the basket.
Yeah, he's placed himself right in the middle. Not a whole lot of distance on that shot, but at only 675 and downhill, you don't have to bite off too much to be able to reach the green in your second shot. Colten a little more aggressive here, going with the high turnover.
Oh yeah. Great shot. Yeah, the second shot gets tricky if you're not placed right in the middle of the fairway. It's a tight gap, maybe 10 feet wide. Oh, and he gets it. He's right there, 15 feet. Oh, he's a banger away from the basket. And he's going to be taking that.
Yeah, misses off to the left side just a bit, but he's inside the circle.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Calvin getting in the rough on the left. It's pretty hard to get to the basket from there. You're pretty much just playing for par, hopefully.
And a huge skip shot from Colten, and he's right there putting for birdie as well. Card is on a good pace right now.
Yeah, Calvin able to scramble out well. 2 shots from the woods, and he'll still be 15 or 18 feet for his par. Foot in the half inside the circle, and about 1.5 inches high.
And Matt has notched his 3rd birdie in a row.
Catching back up with Calvin for the lead on the card at 3 down. Really how you want to start this course. You got some of the easier par 4s slightly more open in these first few holes.
Colten also moving to 2 under par. This one averaging 3.79, a little bit easier hole, second on the course on the day. And we will see you on number 5.
When someone asks me about a straight flying disc, I instantly think about the Star Mako 3. The transitional star plastic is very grippy, feels great in the hand. You see me throwing my Star Mako 3 on backhand a lot, but it's also one of my go-to scramble discs, especially on forehand. If the shot is straight and you want to get close, check out the Star Mako 3.
Hole 5, par 5, 780 feet. If you can get your tee shot to about this area and try to stay out of that little ditch that's in the middle, then you'll be set up for a good second shot to get up to somewhere around this cluster of trees, or if you've got the power, you can push it a little further if you stay clean and get up to this area for maybe an eagle look. But slight uphill here the entire way, and it kind of catches up with you a little more than it looks like.
Yeah, I feel like this tee shot, it tempts you to want to bend the corner, that little, snake in the fairway, but you really just need to put a straight shot out there unless you're looking for the eagle. And Matt has put his a little bit short. Might have a flex sidearm. And he has snapped this one. It gets kind of a weird little bit of ground play there, but still not bad.
Not the best ground play. With how many rocks and roots are on this fairway, you kind of expect it to sit down once you hit.
And it's drifting left. Pins him right up against the tree. Still have some sort of forehand from there. Oh, and he's put this a little too right.
Yeah, trying to correct on the other players being on the left side. Just a bit too much on it. Fantastic shot from Matt, flexing it all the way up around that second corner.
Oh boy. He's got a down tree right in front. Okay, no, I thought it was a massive tree that was right in front of him, but it was only chopped off section. That was underwhelming. MJ putting one around the corner.
Still getting up there fairly well and staying in the fairway. Colten's got to try to hit this small gap here on the right, and he is able to very well.
Wow! You gotta love seeing a gap that small get hit with power. That's a page out of Yuli's handbook.
Yeah, full commitment there. He gets up there, and he'll have a pretty easy pitch up for his birdie. Not bad from Calvin either. He'll be in the fairway.
Smooth hyzer flip. He's going to have a putt for a birdie from there.
Yeah, should be inside circle 2.
He kind of looked uncomfortable there in the footing. I'm not quite sure what that was.
Yeah, he got a bit of an awkward plant there. He probably had a root in his run up. Messed with his back foot a little bit.
That is something a little strange out here. Something that you have to deal with is you could be in the middle of a fairway and be right in the middle of a rock or a boulder and have to take a standstill even though you thought you threw a great shot. So a lot of creativity and
Yeah, you see him having to go with a little one-step there. Probably felt uncomfortable with the last run-up, decided to do a one-step.
Yeah, it kind of forces you to just isolate your wrist a little bit and just snap something.
Yeah, very beneficial to have a good standstill on courses like this.
Oh, yeah.
And what a scramble birdie from MJ here.
He has been putting so well recently. We watched him at Stafford, just absolutely burying circle 2 putts. And this is Calvin for birdie. Tester putt.
Calvin keeping it rolling 4 through 5. The whole card playing well.
Yeah, this is a course that seems to see double digits quite often. We've seen 14 unders here. We've seen 13s. This is seemingly the pace you need to be on, it looks like, as Colten also taps in a birdie. And finally, the lone blemish in our card. Matteo takes a bogey, moving into hole number 6. Nice subtle bend in the fairway on this one.
625 feet. Get it moving right to left and just miss this tree, ideally off to the right, without too much finish, so you can stay to the right of the trees you just saw there on the left, which create a very big bunker that's hard to get past. If you can stay right, you have a fairly easy upshot.
Yeah, it's a lot straighter than you think. You want to hug that tree line off to the right side. Oh, and he gets enough flip on it. Oh, that is so good. I want to jump back to Colten's form, and let's jump to this front angle. Colten, when he's throwing a hyzer, it's just right in his wheelhouse. Just great torso rotation straight into that hit point. You know exactly what line he's throwing when he takes that approach. Great shot.
And this is great out of Calvin as well. He's hugged that right side and stays just a bit tight, but he should have a good forehand or even a backhand from there.
It seems to me that this is the only hyzer that MJ throws. So this lines up perfectly for him. That's right in the middle of the fairway.
A hyzer stand up to fade, and he's put it in the ideal spot.
Ooh, this is popped. Oh,
And he's drifted down there to that left side that may pinch him off a little bit from the right side gap. There's a much skinnier gap if he did get far enough left over top of that rock you can see, as MJ just absolutely bases it with his purple banger.
like I said, he's playing exactly how he played at Stafford, throwing just a few molds.
Not quite enough turn on that one. He'll be inside of circle 2.
Little chip flick for Colten. Gets a little roll out. He's going to have a circle 2 look at the basket.
Yeah, you want to be a little closer from there. He kind of sawed that sidearm off. And it looks like Matt did not go quite as far left as we thought, and almost throws it in. Great shot from him.
Colton's going to be tapping in his 4. And Calvin, after not getting the turn on his approach, let's see if he has a 70-footer in him. No dice.
Had all the want on it, just a little bit high.
Nice comeback after bogey in the previous hole, and the shades are coming down.
His putt just doesn't seem like it's going to go.
Yeah, he really just wills it into the basket. It's so far out in front of him and curled up. It's such a unique release.
Very unique. Cool to watch. Cool to watch somebody make something so unique work for them so well.
Yeah.
Making it look a little too easy. MJ tapping in the birdie. Moves us into hole 7, 370 feet. Throw it as straight as you can for about 320 feet down the hill, and then if you can get it to move a little bit right, great. If not, you're still pretty happy with it.
Yeah, this is a tough hole. You hit early, and it is not pretty for you. This is a 15-foot gap. Oh, look at this. MJ just slow drift with a Comet. And
fantastic shot.
Did exactly what you said. Just pushed it straight, and he's got himself a circle 2 look. And if you have a fairway driver sidearm, this is making the hole so much easier for you. Being able to see your target. This is an FX2. Oh, yeah, come on.
And gets the tree slow down as well. That's about as close as you'll be on this hole.
And Matty O, underrated sidearm. He's been just showcasing it so well. Elbow more off his side. Perfect line. We saw him almost ace hole 18 at Stafford numerous times last weekend. Throwing that beautiful flex sidearm. Here's Colton going with the same thing. Oh,
faded
nasty.
Just a bit early, but still gets down past that last group on the right. Catches some that you can't see what he hit off of the tee.
Okay. A little bit low. And when you hit the initial gap, there's still a bunch of little gaps that you can barely see that you have to miss. And unfortunately, Calvin has hit them, but he still has a long look. He is generating so much power off this just straddle putt.
Yeah, that was 65 feet straddle putt, and he's able to hit solid chains left side.
There it is. MJ goes to 4 under par. We're going to give that the Gatekeeper rewind. Just a smooth Anheuser nose-up flex putt with that Ringer GT. It's a pretty glideless, overstable putter that he is working on that Anheuser line.
Yeah, and a nice 2 there from Colton as well. It's a great hole to get a 2 on.
And we have seen 3 birdies on hole number 7. And Calvin taps in his par. We're going to move into number 8.
When the PDGA National Tour rolls into town, the action is intense and the competition fire. But every inferno no matter the size, must begin as a spark. With PDGA sanctioned leagues and tournaments, anyone can get in the game. Fuel your fire. Find an event near you at pdga.com.
Hole number 8, 780-foot par 5. The real trouble is accessing the right position at this bottleneck in the fairway. So you pump your drive up the hill, and you just hope that you have a clear lane to shoot through this bottleneck and then move right to get up and down for your birdie. It's not the longest par 5 we've played, but it is tricky.
The tee shot on this one, or the rocks in the landing zone, are what
Yes.
make this shot very unpredictable, I'll say. You can throw it exactly where you want to, get a bounce off a rock, and then only be able to throw about 80 feet forward.
Yeah, so landing it soft is key, and MJ has thrown a flawless drive right in the middle of the bottleneck. And we might see a flex forehand here for Matty O. It's a decent shape for it if you have the power, but it's not entirely necessary. But we have seen this hole eagled before with the flex sidearm. Ooh, this looks decent if it misses it.
Nice shot, man.
Back. He stays over on that left side. It's kind of up in the air whether he's got the line for the eagle or not. He may have to stand still. He may have to throw another flex shot. Or he may have a straight shot.
Yeah, it's a very tricky landing zone up there. You want to hug that middle line as much as possible. Colten throwing something flippy, and that just kept moving right. He's going to be off to the right side. He still needs to get up on top of the hill. And this is that flippy eagle from Calvin. He just jammed that on some hyzer. Watch it drift right. Man, he's been catching these late trees.
Yeah, that drifted just a bit too far right, and that's put him down on the left side of the fairway. He's still got a chance to get up and down for the birdie if he can get a good second shot off here. And that looks to be pretty good. He should be far enough down the fairway where he has a straight look towards the basket, just depending what side of the fairway he's on.
Okay. Just kind of a stock forehand from MJ. He's just going to put it out into play.
Yeah, that puts him 110, 120 feet away.
Nothing special.
Playing for the pretty easy birdie.
It's the luxury of having such a pure tee shot. Colten is off in the rough, but that left side is a lot easier once you get up there. And let's see what Matt has here. He might have a look. Oh, that's a little steep. Oh, he's going for the inside gap.
That's just fine, though.
And not sure that had enough steam to reach the green anyway. He'll have a pretty easy pitch up for the birdie from there. Calvin catching that last tree in the middle. Gonna keep him from having a circle one look.
Wow, great shot, MJ.
Oh, just floating a putter down there.
And there we go.
Just all wrist snap.
Almost a tap-in birdie. It's about 7 feet up, but
He's still got a little work to do there. Luckily, we are in the woods, and there is no wind affecting these elevated putts here. He's going to a putt from about 90 feet. So yeah, MJ's shot was looking so good. Hit that last tree. It's about 35 feet from the basket.
Yeah, good par after being off the fairway a few times there from Colten. I believe this hole does play as the easiest on the course.
Yeah, I feel like a 4 is still a good birdie, but it's very easy to take a 5 on this hole. Just making one little mistake. But Matt's going to take his lone birdie on the card, moving into hole number 9. A 555-foot subtle dogleg right, par 4. We have seen players really attack this one with a flip-up turnover or a flip-up forehand. But really, if you're just trying to take a 3, something that goes straight and drifts a tiny bit to the right, and you should be fine.
If you can just hit this gap off of the tee moving forward and not go too far, then you've really simplified the hole to all that it needs to be. If you miss this gap early, though, then that's where you start getting into the trouble. Yeah. Matt missing on the left side is the better side to miss on. Could still have a chance to get down the gap. If you're on the right side and kick into the woods, it's pretty hairy.
MJ just going common up the middle. And that is no problem. He might have the exact same shot on his second. Rolled the wrist over like you heard him say. And he is in the hairy stuff. He might be throwing another sidearm from there. Ooh, and Calvin's going to go with that late drift with the eagle. Let's see if he can get it to push over. Oh.
And he gets it.
Yes.
He's pushed it a bit long and didn't quite get enough turnover. But at only 555 feet, as far as he pushed, he may have a look to get up to the green. Matty O being a bit out of position, able to get a sidearm up there, and he'll have a putt for birdie.
Great shot. Great shot, man.
A forehand from a knee nets Colten into circle 2. Long birdie look. And kind of a uncharacteristic miss from MJ there. He had a pretty straight look down the fairway and just pulls it a bit wide. Calvin going to a different eagle for his forehand, and he gets up there into circle 1.
Oh, give us this 80-footer.
Oh, and 70 feet.
That is a gorgeous putt. Give us that Gatekeeper rewind. He's throwing them with no wobble right now. Just a clean, consistent fade back to the center.
Yeah, no wobble, no momentum moving forward, just to stand still.
The boy's putting in work. He is putting in work on that putting basket. He is looking really solid on the green right now. Kind of some awkward footing for Matt. And that moves Calvin to 5 under par, tied with Colton and Matt.
Yeah, we've seen some great golf so far on this front nine.
This is a phenomenal start. This is absolutely where you want to be right now. And as MJ taps in his par as well, that is going to wrap up our front nine of round one, folks. Only one bogey on the card. Matt Orum on hole 5, taking a 6, and he remains at 5 under par. And you best believe the rest of this leaderboard is heating up. We have a lot of players sitting at 5 under. Austin Hannum with a 6 down so far. There's a lot of golf to be played moving into the back nine. Make sure to subscribe to Gatekeeper Media on YouTube, and we will catch you for that back nine coverage. I'm Brian Earhart. He is Nathan Queen, and we are signing off.
We'll see you guys out there.